All right, everyone. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are in the world. My name is Jason Levine, and welcome to the Friday Masterclass. Today, we're going to be doing a little bit of audio for video, creating some music and underscore for a collab NFT that I'm working on with our own Paul Trani. So, and unfortunately, didn't get to see Paul today. He's got some internet issues over in his locale today. They're tearing up the street, which they just did in my neighborhood not long ago. So, but it didn't happen on a Friday. These things always happen. But it was the universe probably saying, take a break for now. So that's awesome. We'll look forward to bringing Paul back on soon. And of course, he'll probably get to showcase the final version of this in the next couple of days. Or sometime later next week. In any case, thank you, of course, coming to you live on Adobe Live, Behance, YouTube, and back on Twitter. Yes, we're back on Twitter. Well, I hope it's back on Twitter. Let me see. Actually see if it's streaming over there. I hope it is. And it looks like it is. Or is it? Is it streaming over there? I don't see it. Oh, crap. Well, that sucks. It should be. Oh, well. Not going to worry about that. Hopefully we'll get that back working. I had it working just the other day, but, you know, that's how these things go. The universe, friends. In any case, lovely to see you all. I see we've got Umacorn and Fairy and Reverb Mike and Rick and Mallory and Wade and Golden Rose and Steve, Michelle. How are you all doing? Yeah, that one just isn't wanting to play nicely, so that's okay. Heck with you, Twitter. I don't need you today. Thanks for nothing. But it is bothering me that that isn't working. In any case, Pramod Mehra, nice to see you as well. And we've got Ahmed Zisoon too. Okay, so we're going to kick off in Audition where I've already preloaded the video that was created. So this was some stills that were converted into an animation in After Effects. And we're going to do a couple of variations of scoring the kind of musical theme. Now, if you've been kind of aware, or well, I should say, if you've been, unless you've kind of been under a rock in the last few weeks, no doubt you've heard a lot about this NFT boom happening, and Paul's actually sold quite a few of these already. We've got a couple of Adobe Live alums that have been doing really awesome stuff, selling some incredible NFTs. Anna McNaught, you all know, actually she and her husband were on yesterday and the day before, showing some cool stuff in Premiere for social output. She's been doing some really wonderful NFTs, did a really cool one for Earth Day. We've got Elise Swopes, who again has graced the Adobe Live stage, as it were, many times, creating some amazing NFTs. So why not? Decide to get in on this game as well. Buy some Ethereum. So this is the piece, and first I'll just show it to you without any sound. So let me just take this off here, and you'll kind of see what we got. Now, we went with like a 15-second... Oh, wait, hold on. There's still music playing. I don't want that. We went with a 15-second loopable animation here. So, oh, and I still have some of the audio playing. Damn you, all to... went with a 15-second animation. I haven't seen too many long animations minted as NFTs. I'm sure there are some. There's obviously no limit to that. It just seemed like 15 seconds is probably enough. Maybe 30 would be better. The challenge here in adding audio to this, of course, is, well, one, making something that kind of sounds interesting and really kind of augments the visual in a nice way in 15 seconds is a challenge in and of itself. And also, having something that short, well, ideally, if anyone is ever going to play the audio anyway, I mean, you know, we know this from a lot of things. A lot of times the audio just doesn't get heard. But if it were to be heard and played back, it has to loop. And it's not just a matter of begin, end, start again, but it should be kind of seamless, right? It shouldn't feel like there's a definite stop and then it starts again. I mean, you could do that. For my ear, that would get really irritating after, you know, 2 passes. So the challenge was really to try and make something that kind of loops continuously, that you could have, you know, just playing a few times and not want to, you know, go crazy. I couldn't even think of a good word for it. So I thought that I would start with kind of a pulse. Now, I was going to do this via the Moog here. So I've got the Moog set up and was going to do some like super low frequency sounds there. I'm going to get my headphones on so I can hear what I'm doing here. All right. And I'm going to give you just a little quick taste here of some of the elements that I've laid in already, and then we're going to augment these further. So I started with this bass pulse, which is in the key of F, and it's just a repetitive pulse. And if you take a look at the track, you'll see that I played it. Now I didn't, as is often the case, I didn't play this to a click. I'm playing this live, no MIDI, because I'm doing this in Audition, of course. I've said it once before, and I'll say it again. This is very much probably the last, sadly, multi-track session I'll do here because, as I mentioned, I'm going on sabbatical week after next, and I'm doing some production for some other groups, and they sent me projects that have MIDI files. So can't do it here, you know. Sucks, but I'm going to have to go back to something else. Actually, curiously in the chat, if any of you are using PreSonus Studio One, curious about your thoughts on that. I have Pro Tools. I don't like it. I'd rather not use it. And I love Ableton, but I find the UI really difficult. So, and I'm not great in Ableton. So let me know your thoughts on PreSonus Studio One if you use it. Anyway, this is the bass pulse. Check this out. So real simple, repetitive ostinato, just kind of pulsates. Little picked bass action there, little reflection. Okay. And then over top of that, I wanted to add some kind of a dream pad. So I kind of dipped into some of the sounds from the old, my old, what is this? EX5, this Yamaha EX5 here, and added this dream sphere. I'll wait till it gets to the end so we can kick it in. All right, let's do this now. Kind of a nice little sweep on there. I mean, it's really nothing, right? And then I added another patch, which kind of has that, like a glassy atmosphere, where I'm doing subtle harmonic changes. You can't get too busy in 15 seconds, especially if it's going to loop. While I was doing that, I was going through some of the synth patches. I never used this EX5 for its patches. I use it as a controller, and it had those kind of classic Simmons toms, do 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 do, and I just thought they kind of worked. They sound like this. Right? So let's put this all together and kind of hear what this rough sketch sounds like. Now this doesn't even have Moog on it yet, but take a listen. And then, right? So it's a nice loop. Okay, so as a start, I think it's pretty good. I think it sounds okay. It needs more, obviously, and part of what it needs is sound design. So again, we're going to tackle this with a couple of different things. I did some of this just before the stream because I just didn't know how much time I was going to have. You know, first, just to kind of Mickey Mouse sort of the motion of the electricity, you know, of the text that you see, the Bitcoin logo and those things. You know, what does that sound like? So I dipped into some of our Loopology sound effects, which I don't think are available anymore. I'm not entirely sure. I don't know if you can still, it's still, let's see, does it work if I go download sound effects and more? Hold on, I'm gonna switch over. Let me see if that link still works. I'm not sure that it does. It does, okay, yeah. So you can still get all of the Audition sound effects. Unfortunately, the Loopology looped music is all gone, but sound effects are still there, so that's pretty cool. In any case, I brought in a couple of different things. So the first one was, I actually retitled it here. what do I call this? So it's like an electrical whirring, all right? So as we're kind of, scrubbing through this, you have this like, and you can see that the light is just kind of glistening and changing over time, and then it kind of dips back down again. So I used this one here, this little sonic buzz. I actually chopped up a couple of variations of that, which created this. And I pitched, this was just digital noise. But using the pitch shifter, I was able to actually pitch it in tune into F so that it actually resonates with the with the bass tonality of that bass note. So that in conjunction with this, so this other one here is just kind of high-pitched digital noise. And it kind of simulates, it kind of works with some of the sparkling lights. You can see I ran a really aggressive high-pass filter on here. So really nothing, no frequencies above 960 hertz. It's really just meant to be upper mid-range and high-end, just to kind of, scream, like what does electricity sound like? Right, when you hear it in movies. Kind of atonal, a little off-putting. This might be a little too much. All right. Together, these two things. And that last part works really well because it's like you hear the light kind of fizzle out, like the last bit of energy. And then it fades back down. So that really works. So I was thinking maybe we'd make another track here. And I grabbed a couple of additional, I'm going to stick this over here now. A couple of additional files, sound effects, sound design files, that I think could work really nicely. So let me go ahead and grab those. I already placed them in their own discrete location here. Which one don't I need? I think actually all of these are fine. All right, so let's open these up. And I got to remember which one I want. So there was one, this one, I think computer noise. So like, might be a little too busy. That's cool, but for something else. Cool. How about this distortion static? Too much. Also too much. Too much. Too much. Very aggressive. All right, so let's start with something like this. All right, maybe not the whole thing, but we'll see if we can find something that kind of works. All right, so let's take a look down here. So I see Umacorn was asking, so is anyone going to backfill? No, I do not believe so. So they'll probably run replays. I will be, next week will be my my last stream for a while. I'll be streaming on my channel. I'll be doing other things, just non-work related things. And then I'll be back on Adobe Live June 25th. So I'll be gone for about 2 months, which I'm very much looking forward to. So we'll call these electrical beeps. And what we're trying to do is just trying to, again, kind of simulate and fill some space to kind of punctuate some of those brighter spots in the animation there. I'm going to turn this one on discreetly by itself. And let's see if this does anything. And I'm just going to see where it falls right now. As you've seen me with sound design, sometimes you drop something in and it just kind of works. Sometimes you got to move stuff around. I didn't add markers because there weren't really any discrete things happening on screen that needed specific timing. Those other two, they just kind of work as they are. I did some crossfades, but you just sort of have to play with it based on the type of animation that it is. So let's take a look here and see if this does anything at all. So that right there, that works great. Like that I really like. So maybe what we'll do, not sure if I want those beeps there necessarily. So I'm gonna do a couple little creative edits here. So I'm gonna cut this. And by the way, you can see I've made a marker region here that just keeps looping because that's kind of the 15-second section that I want to use. So I'm gonna do another little thing here. So I'm gonna get out of that for a second. I'm just gonna select a little piece of this. I'm gonna split it, and then I'm gonna duplicate this little piece a couple times. All right, because I kind of want this to last. Yeah, I mean that light gets real bright, so maybe kind of keep that going. So as you maybe have seen before, if you just drag the edges of your clips over top of one another, they will automatically seamlessly crossfade. So you may need to elongate these crossfades. I don't mind if a little piece of that snuck in there. That's because, again, I'm kind of crossfading over a longer section here. Let's see. And I don't mind if it even has almost a little bit of a rhythmic pulse because it's really meant to be in the background. So we're not going to really hear that necessarily anyway. All right, so let's drop this down to around -6. Armando, for notch EQ, what parametric EQ plugin that allows sidechain do you recommend? You know, I'm not sure. I got to be honest with you, man. I don't remember which, if any, which of our EQ effects allow for sidechaining. I don't think the notch filter does. Does it? No, this only has channel map. Because if it did, they would have this button here, set sidechain input. So we're diverting a little bit here, but so I'm not sure if any of our native EQs support sidechaining. Definitely not the graphic, not a chance. Yeah, no. Some third-party ones, perhaps. Not FFT either. No. Maybe here. Let me see. I'll give you one more second. I'll take a look here. Is my Manny American? Have I used that as a sidechain? No. Yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not sure if there are any that are supported. I mean, I'm sure there's some third-party one that may work, but none of our native ones work, unfortunately, for sidechaining. Sorry about that. Okay. Nacho cheese. Very good. You need a good whoosh. Yeah, you know, I had a bunch of different whoosh things in there. I'm trying to simulate that with kind of the musical elements as opposed to the sound design so that it's more musical. If I just wanted to do, because you could just do this as an atmospheric sound design totally, 100%, without any real music and just like dissonance. But I wanted it to be a little more melodic. You know, this is just it's an experiment, right? That's kind of cool. All right, and then maybe we'll bring some of those beeps in. What do these sound like down here? Yeah, okay, so we definitely don't want that. So we're going to cut right there. Yeah, that's we don't want any of that. And maybe we'll just put those beeps kind of in there. Yeah, that kind of works. I'm going to take another one of these. And let's crossfade it and see. It kind of works. Maybe even pitch one of these up slightly. So a little detuning. All right, grab our properties panel. Stick that over here for a sec. So I'm going to go into our stretch mode. We'll do real time. And I'm going to do vary speed to pitch it up. So it'll speed it up, but it'll maintain the quality. Let's hear what that sounds like. Okay, yeah, and maybe I'll just kind of have this gradually fade out. That's a lot of little beeps there, and it's pretty loud. So let's bring both of these noises in and see what this sounds like now. It's probably way too busy and loud. Oh, hold on. Do our marker section here. I don't think the beeps are working. Yeah, it's like real busy. I don't know. Let's see if we use just the beeps. Yeah, maybe. Okay, so I need one final, actually I like that with these two. So I think this electrical noise one, it's just not doing it. It's kind of it's just too much. And it has too much of its own tonality. Curiously, the pitched beeps that we just did are actually resonating in the same pitch. So it actually kind of works. Mike's saying you could take the front fade up part of the clip and play it backwards at the end. Yeah, that could actually work nicely. That could definitely work. Maybe I'll do that. Let's try that as an option right now. I'm gonna take this clip here. And oh, but I'll have to turn it into a new clip. It'll reverse the whole thing. What does this one sound like? Yeah, that'll be a little too subtle. I have another idea. Okay, so let's do this. Oh, and there was one more thing I wanted to add here. So, and this is an F, and then we're gonna segue. And by the way, I haven't even added the Moog yet. So again, I don't want to do too many things on this, but I'm trying to just add a bunch of different options that we can kind of mix in and out. And I'm thinking having some kind of a Moog bass. I already had a track for that. Let me move that over here, and let's get this ready. And let's just add this in and see if this does anything. I was going to play around with the modulation a little and see if that worked, if that made anything interesting sounding. It's getting real dirty. This is really hard to do from behind. Okay, let's give it a shot. I don't know what that was. Not great. Well, it's analog, so it's nice, but I don't know if that really works. I don't know if that does anything. It doesn't really get us anything there. Maybe if we flange it or something. And let's have it start like that and kind of just gradually fade up. Okay, that actually kind of worked. And let me go, and I'm going to add a little analog delay on here. So this will catch that that little octave thing that I do at the end there. Oh, and I don't need that much feedback. But we will trash it. And it's all right. This glass one has got a lot of low mids in it. So we're going to put some EQ on there. That's better. Opened it up a little. All right, not bad. Let's go ahead and save this as var1f. All right. Saving our work. Yes. All right. And yes, it is a collab that I'm doing with Paul here. Very cool. Okay, so let's go back to the screen. Didn't realize we weren't on there. Sorry, friends. All right. All right, so let's do one more thing to this one in F. So I laid in some Mellotron here, and now this was recorded with one of the soft synths, and as such, I had to loop it through. So I couldn't overdub with the other things in time, so I had to actually play a physical metronome on my phone, time myself, and then... Oh my God. Okay. I have a minor emergency, friends. I need to step out for a second. So I'll be right back. This should only just take a minute or two. Got to go take care of something here. So I'm going to play this for you, and I'm going to loop this, and then you're going to see if this drives you crazy. This is the day we're having today. All right, so bear with me here. I'm going to get... Can't believe this is happening. Okay, hold on. I'm going to do one more thing. Should be fine. Okay, I'm going to play this back. BRB, friends. Sorry for this. I got to take care of something real quick. Okay, here we go. All right, so for a loopable NFT, and it's been looping for 2 minutes. Paul is here. What's up? All right. Whew. Okay, Jerry Odom, loving the lo-fi vocal stuff. Oh, cool, you actually heard that in there. Very cool. All right, so let's get back to business. I'm out of breath. All right, where did I leave off? Yes, Mellotron. Which I was actually just playing. I meant that wasn't supposed to be on. I hadn't even slipped that in time yet, so that's actually pretty cool. It's supposed to be, let's see. Okay, so it's supposed to be about here. So if I slip this approximately to there, yeah, that looks right. Let's see if I solo these. Actually has to come sooner. Okay, that's fine. Even better. Oh, so maybe it kind of actually did work where it was. Okay. Well, let's do this. Let's shrink this up. And see how that plays. Yeah, that's kind of nice and creepy. No. Let's get rid of those too. What does wet and mix mean? Ferry is asking. So you always have a wet-dry balance for your effects. The dry signal is just that. It's the original signal unaffected. And then the wet signal is how much of the delay we're allowing to pass through. So if let's say I had, right now we're at like 85% and 15%. If I just increasing the wet signal, you're going to start to hear a lot more of the delay output. And then in conjunction with this like feedback setting, this is where you can get some very intense digital distortion type effects where it basically is looping on top of itself to create something like this. So first I'll start just by increasing the wet output. It might be a little hard to hear because this is legato. I'm not really letting up on the keys. So there's just more echo output versus if I had it down at like 15%. It's much more subtle, right? Let's go back up to like 100%. Echoes are louder. So again, now I don't have a lot of feedback either. If I increase the wet and increase the feedback, that's the number of subsequent repeats, it's going to get very intense very fast. Okay, and same thing with flange. You have the wet dry mix. So this is a single slider that's basically saying this is 93.1% dry with about 6.9% of that wet signal. So just a little bit of flange on top of that, just to give it a little bit of an edge. All right. More feedback. Yes. Very cool. All right, so I think we're gonna. This needs some mixing here. I'm not gonna mix this one just yet. It needs some balancing. But I think as a concept, if we break down the elements here. So let's do this. I'm gonna move. And I don't know. Do we need those toms? What do you think? The little tom bits in there. So let's start this kind of organically. So we started with our bass. Right? And we have our dream sphere. Mellotrons over here. And maybe we'll flip the glass to the other side as well. What do you think? Sounds like some 70s prog. Not gonna lie to you, this week have been exclusively King Crimson, 72 to 74, Genesis, 72 to 75, and just this morning I listened to the remastered deluxe edition of Emerson, Lake and Palmer's Tarkus. So yeah, it's been on my mind for sure. Kevin, is this your Mellotron? Dude, I wish. I wanted to buy one years ago and didn't. And then over the years thought about it. I'm not sorry I didn't, because an original Mellotron, as awesome as it is, it's such a beast. It's a beast to maintain. I mean, you're buying something that is likely going to just break. I'd still love to have one. Of course, now they have the digital Mellotrons, but those Mellotrons those are actual samples that are in Native Instruments, and I have the Arturia Mellotron, which is amazing. It has the catalog of stuff. So no, I don't have a physical one, unfortunately, but they're really just as good. Debbie Mason, sounds like I'm walking onto the set of Stranger Things. Ooh, I like that. Okay, so we've got about 12 more minutes. So what do you think? Is Paul still here? Paul hasn't said anything. Paul's like, I hate it. What do you think? Looks and sounds mythical. I like that. Makes you want to go and buy more snacks. Okay. Cool and scary. Mary Lindsay, can I make a chill wave set, please? You know, I'm going to be doing that actually during my sabbatical. I've got a couple of my own album projects, and yeah, chill wave it comes pretty effortlessly. Now that's some brain salad surgery. Good one, Kev. I didn't listen to that one today. That'll probably be tomorrow. Paul, I'm still here, and it's fantastic. Oh, all right. Yeah, dude. I mean, it needs mixing. It's not balanced, but I think it's a pretty cool start, right? Maybe it doesn't need the glass. What do you think? I really like how the sound effects carry that like zzz, like the electricity of the light fading to dark, and that tuned. I gotta see. I wonder if I go into this, can I undo the change? Oh yeah. So just to show you, so this is the change that I made here. So let's undo the pitch shifter. So here it was before. It was an A flat, which is fine, but that would be a minor third against F, and I'm going to really an F major. So I had to pitch shift this. So redoing the pitch shifter, and by the way, just to show you, here I'll undo the pitch shifter, and then I can't. Duh. It just really does it, right? Kind of really makes it work nicely. Okay. Yeah, sorry, that was more, I know you couldn't hear me playing that. That was me checking my pitch to make sure it was right. Paul is saying that pitch shift foghorn sounds awesome. Maybe the glass is timed to the cymbals animating in. Oh yeah, maybe we could fly that in again as those. So they come in kind of soon, which is kind of how I did it originally. Maybe I just need to shift it. Or the mellotron comes in later. I don't want it to be too busy. It is meant to be kind of atmospheric. Sounds like there's a crap ton of stuff going on there. And you know, some of these electrical sounds are a little busy right now too. Sounds like War Alarm to me. Blue Wave, is Audition a DAW? It is. It is, minus the ability to do MIDI and looping and a looping engine and virtual instruments. So minus those three things, it is a DAW. Okay, 9 minutes. All right, so we're gonna save this variation in F, and I'm just going to, in the meantime, I'm gonna move all of these active tracks here so that I know that those are keepers. All right, and I'm gonna mute all of those right now. Now I laid down again some, you know, variations in different. And the toms. Yeah, I don't know if we're gonna keep the toms or not. Let's see. They're nice, but they're not a need to have. So I laid down some pads in A. And this was, again, manipulating with some sliders and controllers to get kind of this weird atmospheric kind of sound. that's kind of cool. So I'm going to cut this right here. And I'm going to drag that over there, because I think that's going to work kind of nice. And let's make a new track here. And let's do some Moog lead. All right, so this is an A. And let's see what this is going to sound like. So I don't want this one so buzzy. I'm going to have to tune this first. So here, let me switch the... I don't have my side by side anymore. All right, I'll do this kind of in this view. Let me play this back for a sec, and I'm going to kind of tune this and set our patch up okay here. All right, let's try a pass on this, just to see. All right. Thank you, Afrosia. Okay. Is that Moog coming through, by the way? Amplitude is kind of low. All right. Nah, that wasn't spectacular. Do it again. And I'm wondering, maybe I should do it an octave 2 or higher. Ooh, a retune. Let's do a little delay to kind of get into the vibe here. Yes, I was just kind of half playing the intro to Fly Like an Eagle. All right. This is a little buzzy still. See, I have too much wet on that. We're hearing too much of that wet signal. All right, let's try this. This is going to be our last little bit right here. wasn't bad. Kind of some nice echoes in there. Ah, now we're onto something. All right, I'm going to do one more, and I'm going to add this with a bit more of the brightness on there. All right. Split this off to its own little track here. Grab that take, drop this down, and let's see how these sound together. Now, again, I could still use the same electronic, sounds to kind of Mickey Mouse the electricity, the animation of the logos and the icons. So I'm going to stick those back in, and let's see what that kind of adds. I'm not convinced this lead is great, by the way, just as a melodic idea, if it works. And it kind of needs to be more in the background. I'm going to add the same delay on here. So let's do 479, do 25, feedback, 27, trash, and let's do no spread. Keep this kind of mono sounding. And now, you know what's weird? You know what I noticed recently? Is that just the track width? It is. Why wasn't the pan showing up? This gets lost very quickly there for no reason. Weird. All right. Let's see what that sounds like. I've also got this one that I added the other day too. That's this. Oh, it's that same Dream Sphere sound. Again, just a pad. Let's put that back in. Kind of interesting. But friends, that's all the time we have. So thanks so much for watching. We've got more to come on Adobe Live. We've got the Illustrator Daily Creative Challenge coming up. So until next time, stick around. Thank you so much. We will see you on the next one next week. Have a great weekend, everybody. Take care. Bye-bye.